Nexxlegacy.
Fenty Beauty by Rihanna was created with the promise of inclusion for everyone, with an unmatched offering of shades and colors for all skin tones. You'll never look elsewhere for your beauty staples. Danaya Azure Radio is now sponsored by Fenty Beauty. Browse their foundation line, lip colors, and so much more. All you have to do is go to www.danayaazure.com. That's www.danayaazure.com. And click on the link that says Nexxlegacy Fenty.
Nexxlegacy.
I am Kimberly Offord. I'm Kimberly Offord, and you are now tuned into Danaya Azure Radio.
Hello, Kimberly. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I met the phenomenal Kimberly Offord actually at the Black Women's Expo. She just reminded me, she was talking about AI and how she's used that to benefit her businesses. I was there to support my girl Erica Porter at MBA because she was speaking on that panel as well. So how did you originally get into utilizing AI? Because AI is it's kind of new, but kind of not, because we've been using the AI for different things. Like, hell, Siri technically is AI. So
so I got into AI about 2 years ago when right during the pandemic, when everyone started working with ChatGPT and some of the other AI platforms. So I started then, and I'm a realtor by trade and a marketer by trade, entrepreneur marketer. And so I'm always looking for the latest and the greatest when it comes to marketing and branding and all of that. And so I was using AI primarily for real estate, for marketing, and for branding. And so anyone who's into AI knows that once you go down one rabbit hole, that's it. That's all. You are invested, and you will probably end up in several different areas. So that's how I got started. And where I ended up, never thought I would end up in the whole AI film and, images and film.
So explain how that situation happened.
Same thing. So, whenever you're an entrepreneur, you end up being everything to your business. You end up being the marketer. You end up being the social media manager. You end up being all of those things. And so because I have that marketing background and that creative background, I've always done social media, and I've always done the social media design. So I've always done created my own marketing materials, all of that. And so that just kind of, seeped over into the image piece, because as realtors, you're always looking for great images of homes, of houses, of all of that. And using Mid-Journey to create those types of images, to create B-roll. I was doing that, when it first, came out, because it was all for real estate. And then it just branched off into, other things.
So let's talk about your viral video. How did that come to be?
Which one? Which one? And I don't mean that in an arrogant way, but there have been a couple that have really taken off.
The partnership with Disney, I would say.
What's that?
The partnership with Disney.
Oh, I don't have a partnership with Disney. I have I did a video. Maybe you're talking about the video that I did with Layla Hathaway.
Yes.
Okay. So the video that I did with Layla Hathaway, that happened. So I had been creating videos. I had been creating not real estate videos, but just regular videos with AI images that were telling the story. And I was posting them on TikTok, as well as on Instagram. And I did not have a huge following. I didn't have a million followers or anything like that, but I had been posting some videos, and one video just so happened to post. She saw it. Layla saw it, and she commented on that video, and I was in shock because I was just like, "Oh, wait a minute, who is this?" And after that, some kind of way or another, the algorithm just put me in front of her. Maybe it's the algorithm, maybe it was just God, maybe it was just destiny. I don't know. The universe, whatever you want to call it, it was a blessing. And so she was started following me, and saw a few of my other videos. And I create my videos based on a lot on music. And so either the music either inspires the images, or the images inspire me to pick a certain song. And so on her new album, she had a couple of songs on there that I really loved. And so I created a couple of images and videos around those songs. And I tagged her, and she loved it. And the next thing I knew, she said, she sent me a private message, said, how can I get in contact with you? And so her manager did reach out, and I ended up doing a video for her new album.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it
Actually, I
was.
tell people all the time, the power of social media.
What's that?
The power of social media, man. The power of social
Oh,
media. When you do it
yeah,
right.
it is. It is truly powerful, and I just want to say that everybody is chasing that one thing that's going to make them go viral, and it doesn't take a million people for you to do something that gets noticed. All it takes is that one thing and that one person to notice, what you're doing, and if you're very targeted, and if you stay within
Yes.
your niche, that person who needs to see that, they will definitely see it.
It's about quality over quantity. I keep trying to tell y'all, it is about quality over quantity, because people don't realize that virality is literally likes, comments, shares, and saves. That's it.
Yeah.
That's why it's very important to pay attention to what you're sharing, because you can make the wrong things go viral. Because people have been
Yep.
doing that a lot too. But
Yep.
what was so dope was to be able to see your video. Like, it went crazy, because I saw it like multiple times before I even met you, and I was like, wait, that was your thing? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was that one, and then another one that I did right after the election, that went pretty. A lot of people were sharing that video and didn't even know that I was the creator of it. But it was a video that I did right after the election, and it was to the song "This Is America." And I did that. I
Oh
was
yeah,
I
that
was
was.
very upset. I was angry, but I wanted to portray how Black women, what a contribution Black women have made to this country. Period.
Yes.
And that video got the attention of a lot of different, people who reached out, about other opportunities. But it was the Layla video that really did it for me.
Definitely, definitely.
Yep.
And so let's talk a little bit about we talked about the positive parts of AI. What are some of the negative parts of AI?
Well, here's the thing. For you can talk to one person and they'll say just AI period is negative. But of course, there's the abuse of AI. We have what's called face swaps. It is very easy to swap someone's face onto image and portray that image in a negative way. It is very easy to what's called deep fakes, where you're taking AI images and you're not letting people know that they're not AI and they're very realistic, what's called photorealistic images. And people don't realize that they are looking at AI images. So, those are just some of the negative things that can occur with AI. But then one of the things that I always talk about a lot is AI bias. And so that's one of the things, those are actually a few of the things that are, can be negative about AI, but we have there are some safeguards in place, but we have to just be very diligent to just pay attention, just like anything else that's inaccurate or inaccurate. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Kim Offord is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. I think when it comes to AI and the times that we're in, we have a really good opportunity because we can make some incredible pieces, right? It's a whole different way to create art. You can literally, like, you can imagine something and you can create it, which is super dope.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to kids using AI, what do you think is the first step that they should take?
Um, well, I mean, well, first of all, of course, there should be some level of supervision in that, that they are using the AI appropriately and correctly. But I think that it is essential for our youth to start using AI because by the time they become adults and in the workforce, that AI is what they will need to understand and be able to do. And so the first thing, yeah, AI is fun, and this is for anybody, not just children. Um, AI is, when you're getting into image generation and that type of stuff, it's fun. It's, you can get really creative with it. But the first thing you want to learn is how to prompt. Prompting is so important in this day and age. Um, if anyone who is starting out in AI, just learning how to prompt, they will set themselves up for success in just about any AI platform that they, go on. And so that would be my number one thing is learn how to prompt, even if it's the most basic and simple prompt there is out there.
What are some of the tips when it comes to learning how to prompt? Because that's where I definitely struggle when it comes to this. The AI pieces is making sure that the prompt is what I want, so it's so that the image, especially, comes out the way that I want it to. It's easier with text, but when it comes to images, what are some of the tips and tricks? Give me at least a couple tips and tricks when you're trying to prompt to create images or videos.
So, okay. So I get this all the time. People ask me, or they'll say, I'm putting the prompts in and I'm prompting, but they don't look anything like your stuff, or they don't look anything like this person's, stuff. What, first of all, what type of image are you trying to create? That's the first thing. If it is a photorealistic image, which are those images that I create, are the ones that you really can't tell whether or not it's real or not. You kind of know it's not, but they look very real. You have to think about, first of all, if I was watching television or watching a movie, what do I see? What is it that I see? So I'll give you an example. So if I say to you, there's a woman walking down the street, that opens the door for your imagination to imagine any woman walking down the street. It could be a cartoon, it could be a real woman walking down the street, it could be, an older woman, it could be a younger woman. I left it wide open, right?
Right.
But when you go into, let's say, a restaurant and you say, I want a hamburger with onions, pickle, lettuce, no mustard. Put ketchup on it. Put the bun on the side. And I would like French fries with salt and pepper and on a plate. And it's white. It's a white plate. You've given very specific parameters around what it is that you want. And that's how you have to describe your images. And you have to think about this too. If I'm watching television and I see a movie, the movie Star Wars, let's just use that as an example. If you're talking about the movie Star Wars, and then you look at the movie, let's say Wicked, are those two movies filmed the same? They are not. They probably didn't use the same type of film. They didn't use the same type of cameras. They didn't have the same type of vibrant colors. One may be a little bit more muted and Western looking, as opposed to the other one being very vibrant. And so you have to think about that too when it comes to prompting for images. How do you visually, how do you visualize it? How do you see that image visually? And so if you learn how to describe those images in that way, you'll start to get something totally different. So you may say, a lot of my images, I'll describe the object, what they're doing. I'm very specific. What type of image it is. Is it a photograph? Is it an illustration? Is it a cinematic still? And then I'm going to describe what type of camera it was taken with and what type of film it was taken on. And then and then my prompts, they get a little bit more detailed, but they're actually very simple. It's very simple as that.
I love it. I love it because, like I said, when the way you described it is definitely a nightmare to a waiter, but but it makes sense in
Mm-hmm.
terms of exactly what you want and being incredibly detailed because AI does not know. You have to
Yeah.
tell AI what you want it to do because because as intelligent as it is, it still needs us to guide it,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. And then you have to just talk to it the way that you would talk to your friend. You may be that friend, or you may have a friend that every time they describe or tell you about something that happened yesterday or day before yesterday or at their job, you have that one person who's real descriptive, and you want to say to them, get to the point, right? You want to be that person when you are prompting. Now there are some, it depends on what platform you're using. There are some platforms where you can be very descriptive and it will pick up on what you need or what you want. And then there are other platforms like Midjourney that only picks up on very specific keywords, and you have to just learn what those words are that it picks up on.
Mm. And you have a mid-journey class, don't you?
I do. I have a mid-journey class that I teach. I have a photorealistic intensive that I teach on my. People can, if they want to attend those courses, it's actually 20 videos that go from just creating images, creating video, and then how to monetize your videos once you've completed them. And that's the key right there that I don't think a lot of people are aware of, that is so has so much promise, is monetizing your videos and actually being commissioned to create videos. And I offer those from my website, which is thereferralstore.com.
Yeah, y'all go to www.thereferralstore.com because I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all
Yeah,
what she is teaching y'all when it comes to monetization of your videos that you're creating. Those videos take time to do. It's a lot of work. Why not get paid for it? Hello?
yeah, yeah,
Stop working for free when it comes to spending hours and hours and hours doing this content. Stop
yeah.
it. Learn how to monetize your content.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. When everyone sees my videos and they're like, oh my God, they're so great. And they think that, oh, this is like a hobby, that I'm just, doing videos and just putting them on social media. But they don't realize that these videos can be used for B-roll. And what is B-roll? B-roll is when you're looking at that video or you're listening to that person talking or whatever, and then you see like miscellaneous video going on in the background. B-roll, marketing. I've done videos for marketing pieces for entrepreneurs. Um, documentaries. Documentaries are huge when it comes to needing video, because think about this: if you have a video, if you have someone, someone who's doing a documentary, and that documentary was set in the 1800s, right? They don't have video for what happened in the 1800s. But if you can recreate scenes with your AI, you're just as golden as an animator. If that person who's doing a documentary can't afford to have actors to reenact situations, um, that AI video comes in really handy. And so there are just so many different things that you can use, that so many different avenues that you can go down with learning that skill.
Absolutely. And I think that's the one thing I was talking to someone else about. Like, the one thing that a lot of people don't, or a lot of kids don't get when they're in school, is they're what they do is they prep these kids for tests, as opposed to actually teaching them the skills that can get them careers and skills that can get them into their own businesses. Because
Mm-hmm.
that's not what the goal is now, and I think that's the one thing that the pandemic did teach these kids was that you don't have to be in this school in a school environment to learn. You can learn outside of school, and you can learn the truth outside of these regular schools.
Yeah. Uh, I've had this conversation, and I mentioned this on the video that I did online on Facebook the other day, and that is that colleges and universities are kind of missing the mark with this, and some of our public schools by not teaching AI to students, but also not understanding that traditional work and traditional career paths, they are still prevalent, but they also they're also non-traditional career paths as well. And those non-traditional career paths are the ones that you see a lot of people who are in AI right now that are making a lot of money um, doing. Now, is it great to have those programming skills and all that, all that great stuff? Yeah, it is. But is it absolutely necessary anymore? No, it's not, And so we've got to see a shift in that direction when it comes to our education systems, because if not, they're not going to be prepared.
Absolutely. So, when everything is said and done, what do you want your legacy to be?
Ooh, that's a good question. When everything is said and done, I would love that my legacy was that number one, I had an impact on how minorities, people of color, African Americans, especially, see themselves in this AI space, and that they see that there is a place for them and that they can be just as successful as anyone else. I would hope that my legacy also is that you can be just as creative as you want to be with whatever tools you have at hand. I am an art collector and I love and believe in supporting traditional artists. I will that is very important to me. I have a great art collection and I will continue to, support traditional artists. But I don't want anyone to ever think that, because you didn't take a pen and draw it, or that you didn't, do whatever the traditional means are, that is not art form that's coming out of your imagination, and that you can be great, in doing that. And then also making sure that, yeah, we're included in that conversation and that we are doing what we need to do to combat AI bias as well.
Can you explain how important it is for these young kids to see representation when it comes to the AI space?
I mean, it's just as important as seeing representation in any other space. You know, any path that leads to career fulfillment. You know, it's important to see that, and it's important that when it comes to AI bias, this is a little bit different. When it comes to AI bias, it is important that our stories are also included in the conversations. As you see, we got, folks that are banning books, that
Mm-hmm.
tell our story, banning classes that tell our stories. And so this is just another way for not only for us to see, someone who's doing this, but it's also a way for us to see ourselves. And that is so important, just through storytelling, through representation, just through it all, basically.
Absolutely. It is so important for these kids coming up to see, what their possibilities are.
Mm-hmm. Yep. To see their possibilities and to see our story too.
Yes,
Mhm.
because they tried to hide our story. But shout out to this generation because Gen Z, y'all be cutting up. But the one thing that Gen Z is doing is they're like, oh, we're gonna find the truth and we're gonna
Mhm.
put it out there. And they've been doing so on a consistent basis, and that I do appreciate because they're
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, something doesn't seem right. Let's go dig deeper. They are curious, honey, and I think that really has helped for people to see more of
Yeah.
what we never saw in school because we learned the same things every year, no matter
Yeah.
what grade you were in. Same
Yeah.
thing, Black History Month, same couple people. We had no idea how many things we invented. You know what I'm saying? So I
Hmm.
think with the AI space, it's definitely going to be something that's going to be incredibly beneficial when it comes to our community, no question.
Yeah. And children they don't have the learning curve that we do. And so they have the opportunity to really excel in this. They absolutely do.
Most definitely. Well, thank you so much for coming on. You are so incredible.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And you're incredible too for even having the show.
Thank you. So, can you go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you, follow
Okay.
you, and most importantly, book you?
All right. So I am on pretty much all of the social media platforms at this time. I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram. I am on TikTok for however long TikTok is around. We'll see. And I am also on Fanbase, and I am under the same name under everything, Kimberly Offord. I'm also my images are under the name Playground Pastime, and so my website is playgroundpastime.ai, and that you can find me there. Or if you want to take some classes that I have, you can go to my other website, thereferralstore.com. But either way it goes, you can get me on both of those websites, thereferralstore.com or playgroundpastime.ai.
Awesome sauce. Thank you again. I hope you have an amazing day.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I went down to the river to cleanse my soul, but I can't know I won't let it go. I dipped down deep in the cool, cold water and came up clean as I'll ever be, baby. All my sins been washed away in the cool, cold depths of my watery grave. And all my sins been washed, but babe, I still can't pray for you. Oh, I still won't forgive you. I went down to the river to make my peace in the shade of the evergreen trees. Tore down my pride to build your self-esteem. Took a while, but I'm back again, baby. All my sins been washed away in the cool, cold depths of my watery grave. And all my sins been washed, but babe, I still can't pray for you. Oh, I still won't forgive you. I'm 7C. Not for you, but it's for me. It's one thing I won't regret. I'll forgive, but I won't forget. 70 times 70. Not for you, but it's for me. It's one thing I won't regret. I'll forgive, but I won't forget. All my sins been washed away in the cool, cold depths of your watery grave. And all my sins been washed, but babe, I still can't pray for you. Oh, I still won't forgive you.
Nexxlegacy.
Are you searching for the perfect gift? Or do you just need a unique statement piece for yourself? Well, either way, Danaya Azure help you out. What you need is the S4S jewelry collection by Danaya Designs for You. S4S stands for strictly for a stage. Stand out at your next photo or video shoot. Snag that magazine cover. Go from being a part-time extra to an actor or actress who stays booked. Or just be the talk of the town at every event. Danaya Designs for You jewelry is handcrafted and Chicago made for men, women, and children. To start your collection, simply go to www.danayaazure.com. That's www.danayaazure.com. That's www.danayaazure.com.
Nexxlegacy.